yes. Yes, it is.
Driving. Hi, driving, Miss Daisy.
Oh my God, look at my hair. Sorry, guys.
Oh, you don't?
My beautiful post-period pimple that's literally like a mountain on my face.
You spin it around for me?
So annoying.
Chelsea,
Pardon?
when's your birthday?
Next Friday, a week today.
July 31st?
July 30th.
July 30th. Cool. Oh my gosh, guess what's next Saturday? My wedding. July 31st. So crazy.
Oh my God, that's so much more fun than my birthday.
So
Are you excited?
I'm so excited. Oh my gosh. Yeah, but I'm getting like all these beautiful like umbrellas delivered to my mom and dad's patio, and like tables and chairs, and just doing it on like the corner of their deck, overlooking like whatever. It's so pretty. And that sounds so chill, and like it just like it's easy.
That's so perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's gonna be me when I get married. I'm not doing this whole like big wedding thing. There's probably gonna be like 5 people there. My only thing is I'm not wearing shoes. If there's no chance I'm wearing shoes to my own wedding, it's not happening. So we'll probably just like have like maybe 10 people on a beach and then like go somewhere for dinner or something, and like that's it. And done. Sign my papers. Come have a nice meal. And yeah, that's it. As long as I don't have to wear shoes.
Yeah, those circle tables with like the bouquets in the center and the bows on the back of the table are the ugliest things I've ever seen in my life. They're disgusting. They make me want to throw up.
It's so funny because my younger sister, she's getting married in August of next year, and I was supposed to be maid of honor, but she had to go with our other sister because I'm literally stuck in Australia. Can't leave even if I wanted to. So now I'm one of the bridesmaids, but she's very much like, she sent me a few pictures of the wedding dresses she's tried on, and she looks like a human marshmallow. It's like she wants her Cinderella shit. Like she wants her like fitted. She's got a big, massive chest. Like just like this, like the curve thing over her boobs, and then like fitted, and then just go with like all these layers and shit. And I was like, she sent me a few photos of all the dresses she's been trying on, and I was like, we're so opposite. I love you, little sister, but we could not be more opposite. She wants like jeweled out shoes and shit, and I was like, have fun, mate.
No.
Have fun.
No.
I would love to see your dress.
Ooh, I don't know if I can find a picture right now. No, I'm on my phone. I don't know how I would show you, but I'll DM it to you. I'll show you. I'll give you a little sneak peek.
Okay, can you put it in the SSI group then? Because I want to see it too.
Yes. Oh my God, I'm so glad you guys are excited. It's so fun. Heck yeah.
Yeah, it's
love it.
It's really cool to see like what, because I know you just explained like the vibe of the wedding, but it's always nice to see like how the dress like fits into that, because like if you have like a beach wedding, you're not going to have like the Cinderella thing. So I can imagine that your sister's wedding is probably going to be pretty traditional. She'll probably either have it in like a church or like the backyard or something like that, or at like a venue.
She's getting married in Banff. Actually, I was thoroughly surprised. They got engaged at Michelle will know this, Emerald Lake Lodge in Fields, where I used to work. My sister went out and saw it just from me working there. So her and her now fiance went out there a few times, and that's where he proposed. Cool. And they love the mountains. They love Banff. So that's where they're actually going to get married in Banff.
They set
This
up
is one of the reasons.
And
it's going to cost so much money. Like, they're not getting married in a church. They're not religious, but it's like, I don't know, this hotel thing. So it'll be like a hotel, like ballroom, I guess is what they would call them. Like, just the dinner alone is like $110 a person. I was like, how many people are you inviting? She's like 40. It's like, oh my God. So this is why she's now working as a VA for me, because they're saving up a lot of money because she wants her princess day.
Yep.
I'm waiting for her to decide on a wedding dress because I think I might pay for it for her as like a gesture for the wedding. But if she's going to go fucking insane and she's like a $5,000 dress, I'm going to be like,
Yeah, be careful with that. Make sure you ask her about the dress first. She'll probably like.
Which is why I haven't. This is why I haven't said anything yet. I'm waiting for her she's gone and tried on dresses like 2 or 3 times. She's very indecisive. So she's supposed to be going in August, like next month again, and we're going to FaceTime. But I think she even said, she's like, I'm trying to aim under $3,000. And I was like, okay, that's a little bit better. Calm down. But yeah, she's very much like wants to be the princess of things, which honestly, as a big sister, it's almost fun for me because I don't want any of that. But it's kind of cool to like indulge in it with her and be like, yes, you get to be the little princess. Like, she's going to get like the robes all done up and the whole 9 yards for all the maid of honors. So I'll get to like soak in that goodness, but like not be me, which I think is perfect.
That's like
Which will be good.
That's the best of both worlds there.
Yep. It's exciting. Erin, have you guys thought about your wedding at all?
Tell me.
Not really.
No.
No, we have. I mean, really the thing is that we both have big families and or we have a lot of people that we would want to invite. So the main thing stopping us is the funds because we want it to be like if we do have a wedding, it's going to be a kick-ass wedding. Like we're going to invite all of our friends and family and it's going to be a thing and it's going to be so expensive. This cat is using me to get up for one. Can you guys? She's a launching pad. All right.
That's like the perfect venue for you. I don't even know what that would look like. Seriously,
No.
it's kind of something cool.
It's either that, like either we have like the biggest wedding ever or we have like a small intimate courthouse wedding because personally I think it's very weird that we get like married in front of people because like marriage and like it just feels like a very personal thing for me. So I have like these two sides of me that's like, I want everyone there. And then the other side, it's like very intimate, like private vows, like only family or like, only family. And then we have like a reception afterwards. We just don't know yet. It's just too much.
I can literally see you guys getting married at like a brewery or something, like one of the really pretty ones. It's just like a massive property and has like cows and horses and shit around. I can so see whether like you have a big wedding there or you have your wedding and then you like book out a brewery for the day and invite all of your friends and just fucking go nuts.
That's insane. Like there's so many options like that we could do. So it's just about deciding and I'm very indecisive. So
yeah, I get that. I've thought about that in terms of like when I get married and what the fuck will I do? Because the amount of people that would actually, first of all, I don't have parents and like family and stuff that I'd be inviting. So whoever I do marry, I'd be like, I hope your family isn't big because I've got like 2. Like the balance is just not there.
That's like
and also like being in Australia, like do I get married in Australia? How many people do we fly over from Canada? Like
that's so tough.
Yeah. Do I do 2? One of my stepsisters did 2 weddings because she married an American. So she got married in the States with like just our brothers and sisters. I couldn't even go because it was the beginning of COVID and I was in Australia. So they did one in the States and then they're now both living in Canada. He just got permanent residency in Canada like 3 days ago. And then they put on, like she put on her dress again. They didn't do the whole ceremony, but they did this whole like big dinner thing in Canada. So all the family from Canada could like have something as well. It was like,
there you go.
And she loved it because she got to wear a dress twice.
So like get the money's worth.
Yeah, exactly that. Oh my goodness. Alrighty. So I was just reading your thing, Erin, your little the feed in Discord that you need to take your own advice about your pricing.
I posted that shit knowing the answer. Like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
I was like literally on the call. I got off the call and I was like, oh, I'm so annoyed. I was like so annoyed because I literally stated my price and then I didn't shut the fuck up like I told myself that I need to do. And he was like, well, most of our writers pay this amount. And I was like, oh, well, we could probably meet in the middle. No.
Yeah.
Like you're so nice for saying that and you want to be like so friendly. But yeah, in the end, who cares about being nice?
Yeah.
True.
Luckily I did state like the price that I normally do. So when I send the proposal in, I'm going to do exactly what Nick and Michelle and everyone has been saying, which is basically like sorry, I said yes on the phone, but that's not a contract. So here's what I'm actually saying. And like, if you want to work with me, here's how we can do it.
Now that I've read through it, yeah, totally. I changed my mind, totally.
Yeah. So, and I'm not like looking for work. This was just kind of like a random call that happened. So yeah, I'm not too butthurt. And it's like a guy. So like, I don't usually like working with men because they usually think that they know what they're talking about, and
Yeah,
they don't.
I've got one client that's a guy right now, and coincidentally enough, this is the guy that found me on Hinge, found me on a dating site, and then it texted me because he's a local. So he's actually my mechanic that fixed Vanny DeVito, but he also needed a website. Yeah. So ended up chatting to him through that, and obviously have his number, was like texting him. For him, I always chat with my clients and say, what's the best way for us to stay in touch? And he had said, honestly, if it's fine with you, just like text me or call me, because my emails is so backed up from work. He owns his own like mechanic garage. And I was like, yeah, sure. Like, no worries. That totally works for me. Anything to keep my inbox lower. And we don't really need to chat. He's not like a client that's like in my face. He's kind of like, this is what I need. Fucking run with it. Like, I sent him the brand kit and he was like, it's fine. I trust you. And I was like, oh, well, there's actually a choice you need to make between 2 shades of yellow. So if you can let me know, like, but he's honestly the worst at certain points, like just trying to get the stuff that I need from him. But yeah, he was the one he like texted me. We were talking about, it's like, this is the timeline. This is when I need stuff by. And he's like, yeah, okay, cool. No worries. He's like, by the way, what are you doing on dating sites? It's like, oh, you found me on Hinge, have you? He's like, yes. And then like the next week, I needed something from him and he hadn't answered me. So I literally texted him and I was like, oi, get the fuck off Hinge and answer me, would ya? And he came back, he's like, LOL, that's actually very funny. It's like, yes, I know it is, but like, pay attention to me. I work for you right now. I'm building something for you right now. Like, I've got timelines and deadlines as well. Do your shit. It's so funny.
I have some Australian clients and they're actually really cool. It's these 2 dudes and they're like our fabricators. So I like all stuff and then they go cut it and like paint it and shit for events. And they're Australian. They're so cool. They have like long curly hair. I didn't even realize, put 2 and 2 together. That's why they're so cool. And then this other guy is like literally
surfers.
I know it's me by the opposite. It's like I have this guy who like I went to high school with him. So there's like a weird energy, like, you know, high school weird like vibes. You're like awkward. Why are we still friends? And he like just texts me all the time, just like, here's some pictures of my work. And I'm like, no, don't send me your landscaping pictures. I don't care what the bricks look like. This is so boring. I just want to do the 3D models, please. It's such a fine line. Clients are so weird, but they just are friends sometimes, and sometimes it's like more serious. I love it. It's so relatable.
Yeah, it's so funny. Oh my god, yeah, the good old world of clients, eh?
Mm-hmm.
We love them. Oh my goodness.
And they're just like us.
Pardon?
They're just like us.
I know. Just as weird. Some of them better than others. Alrighty, so before we get started, does anyone have any other questions? I know, Erin, you had posted a question, and you used the word trends in it. I love how you air quoted the trends, or not air quoted, you actually quoted the trends because it was in Discord. So I'm really actually excited about that. I was kind of wanting someone to bring that up, because in saying that, I wanted to chat about like things coming up and down like Clubhouse. I saw a thing the other day on Facebook and she's like a business coach or something, and she had done this poll and it was like, is Clubhouse dead? Yes or no? And then another one after that, are you upset about it? And I hit them. Do you know when you hit, I'm lying, it was on Instagram. Do you know when you hit the polls and then it tells you the percentage? I wanted to know the percentage of what people were saying because I never got onto the Clubhouse thing. So I hit it and I was like, is Clubhouse dead? I just hit yes. And it was like 80 some odd percent to like whatever was left. And then other one was like, are you upset about it? And basically there was like very little percentage that said yes. then she did a question thing, and it's like, why do you think it's dead, or why are you not upset about blah, blah, blah? And a lot of people had just kept writing on it. I'd rather just listen to a podcast. Like, I feel like I'm just in a thing and there's too many people talking and I don't. Someone actually posted something which I totally aligned with. And it said, if I wanted this information, I could listen to a podcast, but do it on my own time and not have to schedule it in. I hate scheduling things like that. I was like, oh my goodness, that's me. Like, that is so me. SSI is the only thing that I like schedule on a recurring basis. When I dipped my toes into like the whole coaching waters, I had 2 girls that I took on, and we basically went through all of their pricing, updated their branding, updated their websites, and just did kind of like an overall package of creating a cohesive online brand from their socials onto their website that I had done a redesign on. It was this whole package. I had 2 clients that I beta tested it with, and they both came back with massive, amazing reviews. But I realized that I fucking hate it because I had these calls scheduled weekly for 3 to 4 weeks. And I was like, no, I want to go to the beach. I want to do something else. Like yesterday, it was sunny. We had 1 day of fucking sun in the past 3 weeks. And I just like went down to the beach. I was like, I'm going for a walk. It's too nice. I'm not sitting in my freaking office. I'll do it later when it's dark. So it's funny that you had brought that up in like quote unquote the term trends, and kind of going in and out of these trends and things like TikTok and Clubhouse, which honestly at this point TikTok's not dying. This shit's just getting bigger. Now that Instagram is conforming to it. That's how you know the platform is getting big, when it makes Instagram change, which is what Facebook did for Instagram. Instagram came in and Facebook started changing and added in stories and all these kinds of things. They pulled that completely from Instagram. And then TikTok came in and Instagram was like, oop, adapt. Let's fucking take that over. And yeah, and then Clubhouse. So it's really funny.
Snapchat too.
Pardon? Oh, Snapchat. I forgot about Snapchat. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Isn't that how like stories got started?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was, yeah. And then the filters were originally on Snapchat, and then those popped up on Instagram. And then filters are now on Facebook.
Does anybody use Facebook stories? Like ever?
So once in a while, I will post mine over to Facebook. Like if it's only like van stuff, which I mean, for me, things are changing. My Traveler by Trade Instagram will no longer have anything business related. That's fully going to be a lifestyle, van and lifestyle kind of feed now, because everything's going to go to Digital Nomad by Trade. So once in a while, I will filter van stuff onto my Facebook. I rarely ever filter business stuff because my Facebook is just like only friends and family. A few of my client accounts we do, it just automatically post onto their Facebook, like for that, because it's just connected to the page. But yeah, rarely ever. But it's funny, honestly, the only people that watch my Facebook ones is like my mom, my biological mom's on my Facebook now, and like a few of my aunts and shit. And they'll like heart it on Facebook. It's like, don't do that.
My Instagram randomly added Facebook. I think I had changed to a creator account or something, so it like forced me to like sync them, and then it started posting all my stories there, and I didn't know how to stop it so long, and I was like, all these like random people were like, because it was public, so like I'm in Facebook groups and stuff. I don't really use Facebook otherwise, but like all these people started like messaging me, and like it just got really weird. Like, make it stop.
Oh, because it was all your business stuff. Yeah.
Like such just random, like out of context completely, right? It's just weird. So yeah, watch out for that.
Well, that's a perfect question, because training today is literally on diversification across the platforms. Not so much focusing on like moving off of social media, because I do know that social media can have such an amazing impact on your business. Like we've got a fucking real queen over here who's training her boyfriend to be the real boyfriend.
Yeah.
Love that. That's
I
fucking
didn't think about
awesome.
that.
The real king and queen. So it's not so much about staying off of social media. I think it's more so when you talk about like diversification and how Aaron had brought in like trends and me using Pinterest and kind of moving a bit away from social media. It's really more so what you post onto each of the social media accounts, what your target is there, how much work and effort you put into it. So I actually did this a couple weeks ago. I find that in terms of business, and I'm pretty sure most of us, when you're thinking in terms of business, it's ROI, it's analytics, it's income, it's expenses. It all gets broken down into numbers. So a couple months back, I redid this again a couple weeks ago. I went over everything and I was like, how can I change my lead gen and all these social media platforms? How can I turn these into some type of analytic or into some type of number? So for me, it's a little bit easier to like quantify them in terms of business, in terms of what I should be spending my time on. So I basically wrote out all the different platforms that I use. Back in the day, I remember, this was going back a few years ago, the whole like big quote of it was, you wouldn't post the same thing on Facebook that you would post on Instagram. And I think in a sense that's true, but in the day and age of repurposing, everyone's like repurpose. That's kind of gone right out the window in a certain way. So as Michelle was just saying, like, does anyone post on their Facebook? On my Facebook, first of all, I've got like less than 700 people. My Facebook is pretty new. I just started a new account like 2 years ago when I started the business because I was off Facebook for years. My Facebook, first of all, I've got the Facebook group and the Facebook page. The Facebook page is all pretty much family and friends. But it's good for me to keep posting on there because within that realm of family and friends, I'm the website developer. So anyone within their network that needs a website developer, website designer, needs a website, this is my group of friends and family that have that really personal connection to me. So if they hear of someone that needs a website, they're going to tell them right away. So from a Facebook aspect, Facebook page is good to have. Don't have to post very often. Invite people to the page. I literally post there like maybe twice a month. But that's kind of my realm. That's where that kind of target market lives. I don't need to pitch my services to them because they're friends and family. They don't give a fuck. I do want my business to be known because they're friends and family and we've got a personal connection for them to refer me out. Moving down the line into things like Instagram, email marketing, Pinterest, TikTok. You've got all these other platforms. Which one should you be using? Which one should you be focusing on? How do we know which one we should be focusing on? How do we turn this into some type of like ROI or analytics or something that we can digest and understand? So basically what I did is this week, you'll see that there wasn't an assignment that I posted because I wanted to go over this little exercise with everyone to try and get everyone to go over and see, okay, this is where I should be focusing on. Because this is what I did a few weeks ago and I realized, and I had mentioned this to Michelle before in the past, my Instagram gets me literally no clients. People don't give a fuck about my services on the Traveler by Trade page. They care about my lifestyle. They want to know that I work for myself. How do I work for myself? What am I doing in the van? Where am I going? Where's my next adventure? Am I homeless sleeping in my SUV again? Like, this is what the Traveler by Trade crowd wants to know. It's all lifestyle based. So basically run them down. I wrote out each platform, the purpose or the target of that platform, the possible ROI, and then the time commitment for that platform. So Facebook, I just kind of went over that with the Facebook page. The purpose is just to let friends and family know about what I'm doing. First of all, for a referral basis. And second of all, because everyone needs a little bit of a hype crew. I've got a cousin who saw my Facebook page and she messages me every few months. She's like, I'm so fucking proud of you. You used to be such an asshole when you were a teenager. Like, you've grown up. You moved across the world. I was a bit of an asshole when I was a teenager. But even just having that, that's like building a cheerleader base. Like, that's like building a hype crew. Possible ROI from that, not high, not really using it as a massive lead gen. Time commitment, very little. I post to it like twice a month. It's one-off. When I finish a website design, I post it on there. If there's an update, I post it on there. Pretty photo of the van. Here's my mobile office. Friends and family like, oh my God, I love it. That's so cute. I'm not expecting anything in return. Instagram, again, platform, Instagram, purpose or target, it's all lifestyle based. Make people intrigued about my lifestyle, make them want to have a lifestyle similar. Possible ROI, yes and no. It's not any services, but it leads back to my services. Time commitment for me was where I'm putting in too much time. It's just too much. When I start the Digital Nomad by Trade Instagram, that's going to be different. So that purpose and target is literally just services. So for me, this is why I've created a second Instagram account, because I'm going to change the purpose and the target of this Instagram account. So the possible ROI is massive. It's only going to be services. It's website design, it's SSI, it's freebies, it's blog posts. Time commitment, I can then level that up a little bit. I can commit more time to this because there's more coming in. I've kind of set that aside of this is going to be a lead gen. I've created it in that way. So I can kind of work that into my schedule a little bit more. TikTok, this is going to vary for so many people. There's a brand designer that's out there. She's called Becca Luna. She's also a big show it designer. Her main lead gen now is Pinterest and TikTok. She rarely ever posts to Instagram. Once in a while she does. I think she's actually hired on a social media manager. So she doesn't even have that as her own touch point anymore. She's got someone running that feed for her. So for her, she's kind of gone through the same mental process. Her TikTok is completely turning around an ROI right away. I'm so happy the cats are locked downstairs right now because they'd be doing that as well and I'd be sneezing. But she's gone viral on TikTok. She's used this. It's the same thing in the way as Michelle and her reels. Your reels now have changed, have adapted. You're like, I kind of hate them though. But it's a big thing where you've been able to separate and say, this is a quote unquote trend with the reels. You've gotten on it, you saw value in it, good ROI, so you allocate more time to it. I think this is where it comes in really importantly in social media, and not necessarily moving away from it, but just being a bit more selective. Especially now, I find, and I'm sure everyone else can agree with this culture, as new social media pops up, you're just expected to take that on as well. Clubhouse came out and they were like, if you're an entrepreneur and you're not on Clubhouse, you're doing it wrong. And TikTok came out and they were like, oh, like you can go viral so much easier. Like, don't worry about doing Instagram reels, post them on TikTok. Like, there's always going to be these flows. Everything's going to push you. Even Instagram right now is pushing us. We're a video platform now. Cool. That's in the same sense. You're like, okay, is video going to do anything for me? Is it worth it in my business? Should I follow this trend or should I fuck it off and kind of move somewhere else? So I think at the end of this, of course, being a website designer, I am a bit biased. Also being someone that gets the majority, I've structured my business around getting the majority of incoming things from either my website or referrals. But that's going to be different for everyone. So it's not in a sense of like social media is bad, move away from social media. It's like move into what works for you best. When I bring up things like Pinterest, this, first of all, massive amounts of people go to my website constantly from Pinterest. It's very much targeted. If ever anyone does any branding, and I know Christy does this as well, I had a chat with her about this. She's like, when I take on a branding client, and even me as a website designer, you need inspiration. Where do you go? The first thing you think of, oh, I need to start looking up color combinations, or I need to get some inspiration for this design. You go to Pinterest. Everyone goes over to Pinterest. I've got clients that create full mood boards in Pinterest. Christy gets her clients to do the same. I know so many web designers where they create you a private board on Pinterest and tell you to go fill it up with all the things that you're aligned to and that just pop to your mind as like a massive design brain dump. Pinterest is massive. When you're a service provider, if someone's going to go on, sorry, I was like half yawning. If someone's going to go on there and start looking up brand colors and websites and get this design inspiration, all these things on Pinterest, Pinterest is Google, but visual of pretty design things and like recipes and shit. They're going to be clicking on all of these backlinks. They see this color board that they really like. Ooh, cool. Yeah. Where's that from? Click on it. You're on someone else's website. Now they're intrigued. It's the smallest little hooks that get them over. So for me, being a website designer, having color palettes and brand kits and things like that I can repurpose, because we love repurposing content. I do a website design with a client. I take a screenshot of all their pages. There's at least 4 pages right there. Take a screenshot of their brand kit, take a screenshot of their color palette. There's literally 7 different pins that I can put on Pinterest. And I don't need to build anything else because I've literally built this for a client. That's 7 things that go on there that backlink to my website, backlink to my services, and showcase my services. It's a portfolio, it's a backlink, it's a lead gen, it's a free ad. Like, it's all these things put into one. So for me, platform, purpose, target, ROI, and time commitment is all massive. The next flow of that, then again, is figuring out which of these platforms are best for you, which trends you want to follow, which trends you're like, neat, don't want to do that. Like Clubhouse, I was like, no, not my realm, not doing it. So once you figure out what you want to do, then it turns around in, do I need to do this myself or do I need to outsource? For me, when it comes to email marketing and Pinterest, very good ROI, very good and worthy of putting a time commitment. Then it's like, cool, do we put time commitment or do we put money commitment? Do we hire someone? For me personally, funnels and emails and tracking funnels and emails is just not my realm. It's not fun to me. I don't want to do it. I know it's good for my business, but it is not fun, which is why we outsource. Thank you, Michelle. Legend. Same thing with Pinterest. I know it's power. I enjoy doing it, but not so much as I enjoy building a website. So I know it's a massive lead gen. If I take on an extra website client or if I do XYZ, or with Rich Pins now coming out, if I sell 2 website templates, that's then going to pay for my Pinterest manager. So in terms of that, again, when it comes down time commitment or money commitment, that's where it was like, hey, this is really good for my business, but I can hire someone who this is their lane. I want to stay in my lane. I'm very big on that. When I did my onboarding with my Pinterest manager, she had said to me, she's like, I know that your Pinterest was massive. I built it up. I had like 1.6 million monthly viewers. I was getting thousands of people clicking on my website. She's like, you know how to run your Pinterest. Why are you hiring someone to do it? Like, I'm very pro stay in my lane. I love designing websites. I hate designing Pinterest pins. Also, Pinterest pins are half design and half copywriting because you have to write the pin description. If there's one fucking thing I hate, it's writing. I will chat all day long. I do not like writing things. So for me, it's, again, what are these platforms? How good are they? Do I like doing what needs to be done on this platform? No, outsource. This is where diversification, like across all these different social platforms, it comes down to a little bit of the content and like your love for the platform. I'm very much pro, and I've said this to so many people in the past. I just had a chat with a girl yesterday. She's Canadian as well. She's a copywriter. She lives in Byron. We've been friends on Instagram for like a year and a half. I think we met like online through COVID, so we can never actually meet up in Byron. And then I got stuck in Queensland, and then I moved over here, and we never actually got to meet in person. She messaged me a couple days ago. She's like, can we just like have a phone call? She's like, I'm feeling really down. I'm just really homesick. I'm stressed out about work. And I was like, yeah, cool, no worries. We were on the phone yesterday for 3 hours. just talking about life in like Canada and family and being like stuck away, but then also chatting business stuff. And it was actually perfect timing because I'd said to her, oh, I'm doing this training in SSI tomorrow. She had said to me, she's like, I need to market myself more, but like, I just don't want to I can't do reels. She's like, I don't want to show my face. I'm 36 years old. I'm not getting on these fucking reel trends. I don't like it. And I was like, that's fine. Don't do it. I know a ton of copywriters that are creating little freebies and checklists and how-to lists of how to write your own copy for Instagram captions, for blogs, for websites. And they run that all through Pinterest. You don't have to show your face once. But then that's something you can content repurpose, put it on Pinterest, and it backlinks over to your website and to your socials. So you're still marketing, but you don't have to record a single reel. And she's like, fuck, I never thought about that. Like, yeah, so I'm very pro, like, don't force yourself to do shit that you don't want to do. Like, even when it came in with the Digital Nomad Society or Digital Nomad by Trade blog, it was Digital Nomad Society, I created that as a collective blog. Come in, write a guest post, put all your backlinks at the bottom, tell your services, tell your story. I wanted to create a blog, but I fucking hate writing. How do I create a blog and still bring people back to my site, but then also grow a community? Guest blogs. Come write a blog post, rave about what you're doing, backlink your services. I'll host it on my website. I backlink it through my Pinterest so people get on my website, but they also see what you're doing. It's like a win-win-win. So there's always ways to manipulate the things that you think you need in your business, even if you don't like doing them. Outsourcing, guest posts and guest blogging. There's different ways where you can still adapt to these, but then make them, adapt them so that you like them, so you enjoy doing them, so you want to integrate them into your business. Because there's nothing worse than doing something that you hate doing and having to do it on a recurring basis and then making yourself feel like shit because you don't want to do it. Same thing kind of happened with me with TikTok. I was loving making my TikToks, and then I was just like, I'm kind of over it. So it just sits there, to be completely honest. But when I started my TikTok, the first thing I did was say, like, I put my TikTok creation out into the world saying, I'm not going to like run through with a bunch of business stuff. I started it while I was driving across the country. It's all like van and kind of the same like lifestyle aspect of my Instagram, where it's like, this is kind of what I do and this is my lifestyle, but like, here's my services if you want to see them, which is just the mindset I went into it with. So I don't know. It's not necessarily a big, massive thing. Pinterest and emails, on the other hand, purely business. I dropped off my Pinterest off the side of the earth for like 8 months and then slowly kind of bringing that back again. But it literally very much comes down to what you love doing, your target, your like what purpose it has within your business, and is it feasible? Is it something you enjoy doing? Can you keep doing it? Is it time to outsource it? Is it really something that's so important that it is going to bring you in a lot of leads? Because we want to, I don't know, what's the saying? Don't put all your eggs in one basket or something like that. I'm pretty sure that's it. Where it's like, or don't have, what was the other one? Don't only have one leg to stand on. Like, don't only have one core client, because heaven forbid anything happens with them. And then you're like, oh, well, that's my only income source. This is the value of multiple income streams. How do we have these different income streams? How do we market them? Pinterest, for example, great for passive products. With Rich Pins, people can see your passive products and buy them right from Pinterest, and literally you have no idea who they are. No contact with them. They don't follow you on Instagram. They didn't know your business beforehand. They see one of your passive products. They needed it. They buy it off Pinterest. You get a notification that you made money. That's it. Things like Instagram for some people, I'm not saying just in relation to me, things like Instagram for some people, you're going to have a lot of touch points. People are going to see your reels, they're going to see your posts, they're going to see your captions. Then maybe they DM you. Then you've got to set up a call. And that's for something like web design or one-to-one work. Different platforms, different purpose, different target, different service. But all same at the end of the day as well. I'd love to know, like Erin, you, for example, where do you market? Where's your biggest thing of lead gen? Do you find you have a lot of lead gen, or are you mostly just like retainer clients?
Honestly, it's funny that you asked me this because I've been doing a lot of thinking about where my clients have come from, and all of them recently have come from like relationships. So it's like referrals, but it's like I'll like meet people online, and then how do I even explain this? One of them I met through like a part-time job, and it was like an individual person, and he is like a marketing manager. So he is like looking for freelancers to like hire on, and he's gone to 2 different companies and has brought me to both. And he left this company, went to another one. I'm still at this one. And then he's also here, and now I'm also writing for them. So those are like 2 of my clients. Yeah, like he's amazing. And like I said, I knew him through a part-time job. My other clients are, literally one of them was from Baltimore Freelancer Collective. I just like met her, Jess. She's my other client. And then Christy, met her through Instagram. Just contacting her, and then she ended up wanting to be in the SSI, and then now I'm writing newsletters for her.
Oh, are you really?
Yeah.
I knew you were for Jess.
Yeah, I actually don't write Jess's newsletters. I write her blogs.
Oh, okay.
Yes. But yeah, so I mean, I'm trying to think if I have any more. Yeah. The guy that I got contacted by today came from my website, actually. I asked him how he found me because I was like, who are you? And how did you find me? Because I don't know. I've never heard of your stuff. And he was like, oh, I went on LinkedIn, and then I found you through there. So that's really cool. I haven't posted on LinkedIn in like 8 months.
Yeah, LinkedIn is something I've never really used, actually. Have you guys used LinkedIn? Yeah?
I feel like people,
Yes and no.
agency people do use it. It could be good for me. Like I may have finished a project and it's like with a big brand, that would be a good place to go brag about it for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I find it's like Facebook for like agency style. And the only people that I know that really use it are graphic designers that have left agencies and started freelancing.
Yeah.
So I don't think I've ever. And then Google My Business is really coming up now. I just had a client, one of my social media management clients, she's like, can we just integrate Google My Business, even if it's just like one post a month and just like a few updates? And I was like, yeah, cool. Like, no worries, we'll throw that in. And I actually checked mine from filling hers out because I've like, hi, kitty.
Fine, I'm not in the middle of anything.
I actually checked mine. I think this was just last week, and there was like, I don't know, it's like hits that you had gotten was like 36 people had found my website through Google My Business. I was like, I've never posted on this once. What the fuck?
You set it up one time. I get like 7 or 8 people every single month, or some like max end will be like 13 people will come through. Something I think I want to point out as well, kind of while we're talking about all these different platforms, is I think something that worked really well for me, and as I'm like realizing it, is it's important to post on platforms and stuff, but I think it's more important that you develop a presence, like a solid presence, and then you can just kind of like coast on that. Because like I said, I haven't posted on my LinkedIn for so long, and I don't think that it's not that he's like looking for like the most active people. They're just looking for like, okay, is this person doing what I need help with or whatever? Does she have the same viewpoints? Like he said he read some of my posts and then he went and read my blog. So again, it's like all these things that I'm not actively updating, but it's all things that he can just see, like what I've done, what I'm about, things like that, and get a feel for that. And I feel like a lot of people get caught up in that I mean, I'm a content marketer, so obviously I'm going to say like keep creating content. It is good. You need to like keep updating things, keep you top of mind. But if people are just looking for you, especially if like relationships and referrals are big for you, just like having a core thing that you can point people to is really like what it's all about.
I think it's funny that you bring that up as well, because I feel like in a sense, that's a little bit of what's happened with me. I find the first year of my business, I was like, post on fucking everything, get my services out there, kind of build it up. Now it's been 2.5 years. I've worked with clients, so a lot more referrals are coming in. So this is where I'm almost transitioning, where it's like, I feel like less pressure that I need to market myself. Now it's more so like, built this website, SSI is doing this. It's not so much of like trying to bring in clients. It's more so transition to showcasing my work. And that in retrospect is bringing in clients as well, because they can go back to old posts and they can see, oh, okay, so she does this, and this. And now it's less of me marketing and it's more like, this is what I did. And people are like, oh, okay, that's really cool. And that's where I get connections.
And your clients will self-select because they'll go in and be like, oh, okay, so this is Chelsea. And then like maybe they see that you cuss and they're like, oh, never mind. You don't even have to get on a call with them because they're already gone. Like you've already like cut the crap. Or you see, like I'm just thinking of like Wild Spark Coffee or whatever, when you posted about them and how basically like they saw you and they were like, holy shit, like you are doing this work for me. You're like my favorite person. It's like that literally came from you guys just connecting and then them going onto your page and looking at everything you've already had and being like, fuck, this girl's amazing. Like
she read that I dropped an F-bomb in a caption and was like, fuck yes. Perfect.
Yeah.
I landed my newest client that way. She like came to me for Kartra and I was like, oh, just check out my website. And then turns out she loves camping. And I have all these like little camping line art icons all over my website. And she's like, you're my girl. I just love camping so much. I never get to go, but I just love it. So that was it. That's all it took. A couple of tent lines and she's like, done.
Yeah. And I think it's really cool because we're all kind of in that realm now where we've all been doing this for a few years at least. We've all got things in place like socials and websites and stuff like that, which yes, once in a while they get updated. But from a sense, it's not so much pitching ourselves anymore. It is like the attraction marketing style. I built a website for a girl called Pip probably about a year ago now. And she found my website and then saw my Instagram that I'd lived in a van, and she was living in a van and she was like, I live in a van too. I want someone who's lived in a van before to build my website. Hired. Just done. She literally sent me an email. I'm like, didn't even ask my prices. She was just like, you're hired. Like, when can we start? This is what I need. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Hi. Also, your van is epic. Like, what's up? And she's like a lady that lives in the UK, the other side of the world. Like, how did you find me? I actually asked her as well, and she'd Googled web designer that lives in a van or like something like that. So random, and somehow ended up on my Instagram. No idea. Not a fucking clue how someone in the UK, I was like, my SEO isn't even targeted for that. I have no idea what you Google searched, but like, cool. Like, great. It's worked out. I don't know if anyone follows them. Isabella Silverio. She's American. What's the other girl's name? Morgan something. Morgan Elise. They are both of them are business coaches, which I know we're not fans of coaches, but just to use them as an example. Two girls that were, every single time I went on my Instagram, they were all up in your fucking face. Stories, business posts, their feeds, they were writing blogs, they were doing reels. Like, I remember thinking at some points, like, how the fuck do you have time to have a life? You're literally creating so much content. You are all over the internet, all over social media. How do you have time to live a normal life? What are you doing? And they did that for about a year and a half. And now both of them they're just gone from social media for the most part. They'll put in updates once or twice a week, maybe. Morgan will go literally like 3 weeks without even posting a story. And then she'll post a few stories, like not even about pitching her services. It's like a setup of her computer desk with like my happy place and stuff about the house that she just bought on Vancouver Island. Oh my God, Michelle, this house. It's like
Where?
a beautiful, beautiful house, but like in a forest. She doesn't post the exact location. I messaged her and I was like, this is literally my fucking dream house. Wraparound balcony. You can see like I don't know if it's like a river or if it's like right on the water, trees all around. It's like up on a hill a little bit. It's gorgeous. But she just posts photos of like her house, a bit of her life now. And a couple weeks ago, she's like, I have one spot open for one-to-one coaching. A couple things that were made on Canva, like going over the coaching. And like 2 days later, she's like, coaching spot is now booked. Thank you. That's it. She used to be posting like 20 stories a day, massive posts on Instagram, like little tutorials and reels and all this stuff. And she's like, nope, I'm done now. I've built up my reputation. I've built up my client base. I've built up my referrals. Now she's like, here's my pretty fucking mansion. I've got one-to-one coaching thing open. Take it or buy. And that's it. And Isabella Silveira's doing the same thing. So it's funny to see all like these two massive business coaches. These two are both clearing like probably $1 million a year, if not 800,000. Like they're fucking high up there. And they were just all over the internet. Now they're like, this is me. I marketed myself for 1.5 years. You know what I can do. There you go. Want to work with me? Cool. No, it's fine. It's like, I love that. And Morgan talks a lot about it now. She's like minimalism in business. And I saw her post. She did a post a couple weeks ago and she's like, I just wanted to take a step back. And like, I didn't see anyone talking about minimalism within business, like in this space, which I read it and I was like, it's a bit bullshit, sweetheart. You weren't minimalistic business from day one.
Yeah.
Like you were maximum business, 20 fucking stories a day. Like your business was your life. And then you built up your client base and now you can kind of sit back, which is fucking kudos to you. That's the dream. But also I don't like the messaging of like, no one was talking about minimalism in business. Because anyone who's starting their business, you can't build up the business that she's built from being a minimalist. Like she marketed herself like fucking mad for so long.
I don't trust anybody that's like getting to like, it's so easy. You don't have to work all the time. I'm like, no, because every single successful entrepreneur, every single one is like, oh yeah, the beginning of my business was total absolute chaos. Like I was working all the time or like I was so burnt out or stuff like that. I'm not saying you'd like have to do that to be successful. I'm just saying like 90% of people do that. I just don't think that it's really possible to like laissez-faire your way to success. It'll take you so long versus if you like really just go at it. Minimalism in business. That's not even like, what even is that?
It's weird,
is it another trend word?
I think just
like
in her
prioritizing your lifestyle.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
But she's basically just turning it around where it's like, yeah, minimalism in business. You don't have to post to stories all the time. Where like literally a few years ago, well, not even like a year ago, she was like Monday to Saturday, I think she was like, you post about this on this day, you go live on this day, you do a training on this day, you sympathize with them on this day. She was one of those where like you have a calendar. So like every Wednesday, I'm going to do an inspirational thing. Every Thursday, I'm going to do a live about something. She was one of those, and then she's like flipped the ticket now. It's like, I've been following you for a long time. I know what you're doing. I know what you did 2 years ago, bitch, and it was not being minimalistic. There's no way.
So I'm guessing she's just not talking to new business owners then, because people who are experienced maybe can take her advice and use it. Because
like her.
I'm all about the stop working so freaking hard and simplify, but not. not to new business people. I don't talk to them.
Well, I think for hers as well, she's changed the game up. And even for her one-to-one coaching, she said you've got to be making 15 grand a month.
Yeah.
To take her on. Like, those are the clients she'll take on. That's what your income needs to be around. And then
like, what is 15? What is that? Just like a random number? Like, oh, if it just makes no sense.
She probably charges 6,000 to 8,000 a month minimum is probably why.
Well, I think to work with her for I'm pretty sure you work with her on a 3 to 6 month contract, and it's like 25 grand.
Yeah.
So you need to be making that much. And basically she like goes through, and I think she works primarily with coaches as well. So it's basically takes you're making 15 grand a month. How do we scale that or keep that the same, but get you working less hours? So she helps with like systems and shit like that, which all said and good, whatever. I'm very pro systems and automating and making things easier. But I think she works primarily with coaches and saying that, where it's like, okay, now you come out and make passive products and turn your one-to-one course that you've been doing into a passive product, and then make your one-to-one a high ticket and charge 20 grand. And
this is literally giving me vibes. I'm not going to say who she is. I love her so much though. She's a really good friend, but dear God, the amount of master classes that she puts on, and the messaging of it's the same thing. It's I'm looking for 3 people who are looking to blah, blah, blah. And she posts it every single month. I'm like, girl, like,
yeah.
Help you. Like, I get it. You need to make money, but also like it is so blatantly obvious that that's what's going on here. Like, I know that you're helping people, but this is so uncomfortable. Like, I'm really uncomfortable. It's so bad.
I worked with a coach who does that still to this month. It's like a year later, and it's case studies. I'm looking for 6 women to join my case study, but you have to pay to join her case study.
What is a case study? What the fuck is that? What does that even mean?
I don't know, but it works.
That's what I'm saying. People eat that shit up. It's like, but it's predatory marketing is what it is. And it's like, how do you talk to someone about that and be like, hey man, like, I don't know. It reminds me of like when you don't want to take someone's advice of like who you don't want to be. And so these people that are like really wanting to make money are seeing this person that's like always online and seems to be successful, and they want to be like them. But in reality, she's working all the time. She's constantly creating new products, new master classes. It's just not sustainable or like scalable if you want to like not burn out. So anyways, I can talk about that forever.
Yeah. I know. This is why we can always have a cheeky rant about coaches in this group. It's like my favorite thing ever. If we ever get a coach that joins, it's going to be like,
really uncomfortable.
Like, what's going on? Yeah, certain types of coaches. Yeah, certain types of coaches, I mean, is a different sense. I right now kind of have a coach, quote unquote. I took on, it's like a nutrition, I guess it's like a nutrition, like fitness coach. So it is like a weight loss thing. I've lost 2 kg. Thank you. But it's not in the basis of, here's your gym program, this is what you need to do. It's like, it's a nutrition course at the back end of it. So here, like, it's learning about proteins and fats and micronutrients and macronutrients and how to like balance them and how to find them in foods and into like, I'm actually learning a lot, which is what I wanted to do. Like, I think just being a vegetarian as well is like, I want to learn about what's going into my body and be able to fuel it better and that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's a bit weird that I've got like a coach for it, but they've marketed it in a different way where it's like no aspect of it is like gym aspect. And we get like I've got a check-in. So there's a girl, she just sends me a video based on like my tracking sheet at the end of the week. So it's not like a one-to-one sit-down call where she's like, okay, babe, how was your week? What did you do? It's more like, she sends me a YouTube video, like a link, and she's like, your protein's literally been shit this week. Like, what are you doing? Like, it's that kind of aspect, which is good. From a coaching thing, I'm like, good. Be real. I don't want you rocking up like bubbly and like, it's like a 10-minute like check-in call well, like a video, which is good. It's no calls, which I like. Yeah, it's weird, like having a coach like that aspect. It's changed my eyes a bit because I'm like, oh, so like I have a coach right now, but like I like it. Like I don't want to rag on you, which is funny.
I work with fitness coaches. They're the only coaches that I will work for.
Yeah. I think it's a lot of the times, see, all the fitness coaches and stuff, they are actual PTs. Like they've gone to school and stuff for this shit. It's not like I took a course on learning how to I hired a coach to teach me how to be a coach. And now I'm a marketing coach. Now I'm a business coach. Like one of those, it's like you learn from someone that learned from someone that learned from YouTube. Cool. What the fuck?
Well, if we ever
do
get
tell if a fitness coach is legit.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Like you can see a fitness coach. I don't mean that like they're trim and lean and stuff. I just mean like you can tell that they have good form or something when they're doing whatever. Like it's really easy to just like who's fake and who's not. Whereas business coaching, all of it's a big secret, so you just never know until you get whether or not.
And they use those fluff words on you, and then you're like, "Oh, that sounds complicated and amazing. It must be so good." And it's literally bullshit.
It's so bad.
I'm about to do a huge rent. Oh, sorry. You go ahead now. It's your turn.
It's just more about like how I think when I work with clients, they think like copywriters. So they think like those sales pages, they think big buzzwords. And I'm like, those don't actually get people to like do what you need them to do. It's like it's like this whole aesthetic thing. It's like you think that's what it is, but like psychologically, those are not the words that are getting people to click on things. It's the other sales like psychology and whatever like persuasion principles that you're using. But what you see are like the like up level your life or whatever. But it's like those aren't the exact words that are.
Yeah,
they sound nice, but they're not the ones that are really like pulling those people in.
Yeah, it's funny. There's terms like up level that have just been ruined for me because of social media. The term connect. I had a girl that messaged me the other day. She's like, "Oh my God, I'm so happy to connect."
Oh.
If you saw me in real life, would you walk up to me and be like, "I'm so happy to connect"? Because if you did, I'd fucking laugh. I'd look at you and be like, "What? Like, you strange human? What are you saying?" Like, don't do that in my fucking DMs either. Like, I don't. Oh, can we? Or when they write on your post, "Hi, I would love to connect. I'll DM you."
You're already doing it. Just do it.
Like, that word. There's certain words now that have just up level ruined for me. Ruined.
Six.
I can't hear. Oh, there you are. Your voice cut out for a second.
Oh, I was just saying, like, change your life in 6 simple weeks. Like,
Oh my God, yes.
completely transform your reality.
Transform is mine. I can't fucking stand the word transform anymore. I'm like, you guys
Transform?
don't know what that word means.
Yeah. Everyone's got a word that the online business space is just fucking ruined for them. I'm going to really hate the word repurpose soon.
Repurpose?
Yeah, probably.
I'm going to hate that fucking word soon.
And content.
Yeah.
Nick says collab. He doesn't like that word.
Yes.
Collab. Let's collab. No, you mean let me create things for you for free so that you can capitalize off of that and you do absolutely fucking nothing. Yeah, I definitely
You tell him. You tell him.
We hit Michelle's
okay.
all the time.
I had someone yesterday.
Yeah.
It's funny that you bring up that word. Yesterday, because it was so nice, it was like, fuck it, I'm going to go for a walk. So I went and parked up. I found this new beach spot, and like the parking lot is like right along the sidewalk, and then it's like the bank, and it overlooks the beach. So there's a walkway all up and down, or you can like walk on the actual beach. So I go there, reverse the van back into this spot, sitting in the van for a bit. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go for a walk. So I close the van up and I like go to walk by it to put my headphones in. I'm gonna like get my steps in, go walk by the ocean. And this dude like walks by, looks at the van, stops, turns around, pulls out a business card, and he's like, hey, if you ever want to collab, like let me know. And hands me a business card, and he does like music production. I was like, yeah, cool, thanks, mate, no worries. I'm like looking at it, and he's like standing there like thinking to have a chat. I'm like, dude, I'm not in business chat mode. Like I literally have my headphones in, like I'm playing my music, I'm going for a walk. It's like, yeah, cool, no worries, like I'll be in touch. But literally it was just like asked me to collab and handed me a card. Like, thank you. Like, what? That's so strange. Like, go away. Fuck, it's so funny. It's so funny that you brought up that word.
Did you guys hear that they might add like a button for links instead of like having to swipe up and you can like send anybody to any link? That sounds so cool. So like the swipe up word will be gone forever. That would be awesome.
Yeah, they're
I wonder
already
if it's
testing
true.
it. Some people have already gotten that without 10,000 followers.
So cool.
Yeah.
Oh, so you won't need to have 10,000 followers anymore. That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
I always thought that was a little bit like cunty on their part. Like you must have 10,000 followers to get them to swipe up. It's like, what does that number mean? What does 10,000 followers mean? Now I am worthy of making it easier for them to get to a website.
That's what always confused me. I'm like, if you have that many followers, the need is much less than if you have less followers. It was like, I really just want to talk to somebody and try to figure out. I mean, obviously it was so that people would join and try to get to 10,000 followers. That's like the only reason, right?
Yeah.
The only reason.
Yeah.
There's just no other way.
I think that the buying of followers has just gotten probably too difficult to manage. So it's like, what's the point? Because I think they're probably fighting bots a lot more than they're fighting like anything else. But yeah, it's good. They could have done it a year ago when small businesses really needed the support. But
yeah, they can put a tag on any post about COVID, but if your small business needs to get out there in the world, make a reel or die. Basically, Instagram's response. Reels or fuck off.
And video editing. Yeah.
And IGTV, they're starting to push now, and apparently they're like overhauling that interface because it sucks. I think IGTV is the worst.
Well, yeah, because there's a whole separate app for it now too, or there was.
Yeah,
there's a whole IGTV like a separate app. Yeah, I never had it. It's really, I don't like IGTVs.
No,
also, I don't like reels.
Edit.
Like,
you can't edit the like whatever it's called, the thumbnail. You can't edit the goddamn thumbnail. Like, why? If you're a photo sharing app, why? Like, again, whose brain is coming up with these dumbass decisions? Because I need to talk to them.
I
Unreal.
can edit the thumbnail.
No way. On Instagram, on IGTVs.
Yeah, I think you can add in a photo like you do to the reels. Like you can add in like a header or a thumbnail image.
I don't think you can change
this
on reels. Can you?
IGTV, and I put a selfie in there.
Changing, like going in and like changing, because a lot of times, like this is something that I do that I
at the time of posting.
Yeah, I'll do like a live, and I'll be like, shit, I forgot to make
a cover for it.
Yeah, I couldn't remember the name. And then I just end up posting it. And that's why I have just like pictures of me and everybody that has ever been on IGTV with me. Because I just always am like, I literally
their faces.
Dude, it's so dumb because when I did that whole series, there was like a whole month where I was doing IGTVs every single week, and I still didn't. I had it scheduled, and I still didn't create the covers for it. Like every time it came up, I was like, "Oh shit, I got to do a cover." So dumb.
That's so funny.
Funny.
Yeah, it's like half of your face and like part of Christy's face.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or like the one that we did is like half of my face and half of
Eyes, and then it reminds you of like the things that it's like those videos where it's like you have the three and like you keep like swiping and it's like a different body, a different head or whatever.
yeah.
That's
I'm
so
calling you out,
funny.
Michelle. She's like, look at this one. Look at this one.
Perfection. Can't handle it. Ugh.
So I usually
so funny.
before I started custom making reel covers, I would just pick like the worst freeze frame that I could. And like
That's what
I'm,
I
like,
do.
I'm always making the stupidest gesture, but like that's my personality.
That's literally what I've been doing on mine. So, and I literally, there's the one, here's my screen. The one that Aaron and I did. And then this one, like my eyes were closed and I'm like, and I'm pretty sure I captioned it like keeping up with my worst freeze frames.
Oh my god.
I kind of miss that now that I'm doing like proper covers.
We need it.
Fuck, that's funny.
Just like throw it in there every once in a while. Keep them on their toes.
That's funny as
find
shit.
that reels are easier for me than feed posts. I only do so many reels because it actually takes me less time.
Nice.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like they're easier. I feel like a feed post, I have to like put it on Canva and like make it all fancy and like whereas with a reel, I just like first take on it and I'm done. Like I don't care.
It's true. Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah. And it's much easier now with reels, like when you can add photos and stuff. Like the last one I just did for like the brand of Digital Nomad by Trade. It's just literally 5 things that I made on Canva. I copied and pasted the brand kit onto like an IG story size thing on Canva, made 5 of them, and then I just smushed them together and put music with it.
That reel was so good.
yeah.
I watched it like 5 times. I was like,
Thank you.
Again.
Yeah, so it's good that they're letting you do that now because like before reels you couldn't upload pictures, which makes it easier.
But I still don't have, me anyway, I don't have access to all the stickers. So I can't like use the pip function, like picture in picture. I don't know why. Like when I go to edit my reel,